We are ready to start our 11 o'clock practice, so grab your mat, blocks, as well as a belt. We are going to be working our extended hand to big toe, but we're going to try a different challenge today, so I'm excited to show you this challenge. So let me set the camera up and we will get started. Go ahead and come into Sukhasana, that easy seated pose. Sit in Sukhasana, easy seated. And how we do that is we find this comfortable seated position. Whether your heels are staggered, you're crossed at the ankles, or you move deeper to the mid-shins, it just depends on what you want to feel in your hips. But from wherever you're at, I want you to pull the crown of the head to the sky and just relax your shoulders down into your back pockets. Just soften, relax, feel yourself letting go. There may be a lot of noise in the mind. So imagine you're by a stream, and each thought is dropping onto a leaf and floating down that stream away from your body. Feel the heart lift to the sky. And in this moment, feel like you're connected to the earth, like you're rooting into the earth, finding this grounding, this stability. We're still in the month of March, so our theme still is about change. And when we resist the change that is inevitable, we miss the change that is possible. So allow yourself in this time of change that we had no control over to find the good, find where you can make those adjustments, to where you can find peace and ease as that uncomfortableness starts to creep in. Start to bring the breath deeper into the body, and I want you to breathe through the nose. And as you do this, feel the chest rise. Feel the body expand like a balloon, filling the whole body with air. And when you exhale, it's like you're pressing the stale air out of the bottom of your lungs. Just fill nice and deep. And see if your exhale can last longer than your inhale. Some of you will start to move into that Ujjayi breath. And again, to recap what this breath is, it's inhaling and you're dragging the air to the back of the throat where you gargle water. And when you exhale, you're pushing the air out like you're fogging a mirror, but your lips stay sealed. This feeling like you're hearing the ocean through your breath. And for some of us, when we have this noisier breath, it'll allow us to become more present, to be more in this moment. Letting go of all that came before, letting go of all that will come after, so we can truly be here in this moment. Slowly tip the ear towards the right shoulder. Head is heavy, shoulders are soft. Then gently turn the chin towards the knee, stretch across the neck. And then slowly release the chin to the center of the chest. Still sitting tall. Be careful of becoming that professional sloucher. We want to stay tall. Then we inhale the head center and exhale the left ear towards the shoulder. Where can you find yourself softening just a little bit more? Be that student of your body. See what it needs today. And then slowly turn your chin towards that knee. Get a nice good stretch across the neck. And then let's bring our chin back to the center of our chest. And as our chin hangs, we keep our heart lifting. inhale to lift the chin. And when you exhale, change that lead leg, bringing balance into easy seated. And just readjust to sit up nice and tall. We're going to support the stretch through the front of the neck. So as you inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers and start to take your fingertips behind the head, creating this basket at the back of the head. If that's too much, undo the fingertips and take them behind your ears. And then gently tip back, raising your chin to the sky. To release the arms, release the head back to neutral. Let's do that again. Inhale, rise up. Whether you interlace the fingers or not, take the hands behind the head. Pull the elbows back so you get into the chest as well. And then gently tip back into those hands, lifting your chin. Let's release the arms. And then from here, just take a slow release of the hands in front. And as you do this, start to walk the fingertips forward, but push into the earth to send your sit bones heavy into the mat as you let your forehead release. Feel like you're lengthening away from your hips, growing longer. And you may find the longer you hold here, the more you're able to reach out in front. But stay up on your fingertips. Use them to push you back towards your sit bones. Take a nice big inhale here. And when you exhale, walk your hands over to the right side, leaving your left hip bones heavy on the mat, and pull your ribs towards that right knee as you look over your shoulder. Add a little twist. Inhale, come back to center. Then exhale, walk your hands over to the other side. Stay heavy with this right sit bone and hip pulling to the earth. And then give a little turn to look over the left shoulder. Deepen that stretch through the side body. Inhale, bring your hands back to center. Exhale, walk the hands back into the body. And I'd like you to give me a big inhale, rise up to the sun. Exhale, hands down through the midline. Your eyes can be closed, or let your eyes follow those fingers up to the sky and exhale them down through the midline. One more time, you'll see them in your peripheral vision. And bring the hands to rest at the heart. Either eyes are closed or gazing to your fingertips. Take a moment to answer this question. What brought you on the mat today? And then let this time on your mat to honor what brought you here. Promise yourself that you'll try. It takes more than just this one class to learn the names of the poses and where the body goes. So it is not about what I am doing. It is about what your body needs today and finding ease there. If your eyes are closed, gently blink them open. Let's all take a nice big inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. Go ahead and turn in either direction on your mat. And as you turn in either direction, I want you to grab your belt and have it close by. We're going to use that belt soon. But let's warm up a little bit more with some bridge work. So as you lay back, your feet are flat on the floor, your feet are open hip width apart. Let your arms release. Do a little tuck of your shoulder blades under the body so you feel yourself pushing into the back of your arms. Then inhale, lift the hips to the sky. Exhale, lower them back down. Inhale, press to lift up. Exhale, come back down. Do this 2 more times. Pressing the hips and lowering down. But on this last one, press your hips up and hold. Now imagine a block is between your legs, so squeeze those inner thighs. And then feel like without your feet moving, you can pull those heels towards your glutes. Fire up the legs just a little bit more. Feet are still flat on the earth. And then slowly release your hips to the earth. Go ahead and bring both knees over the hips. And from here, fingertips to temples. Let's warm up our powerhouse. We're going to need this. Pull your belly to the floor. And on an exhale, crunch up. Inhale, release. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lower. Elbows stay wide as we pull ourselves up. Sliding ribs to hips 2 more times. Now let's take this into a twist. Twist across, extend the back leg, come back to center. Twist across, extend the front leg, come back. Continue to move, but return to center each time, controlling the movement. Exhale, inhale. Exhale to twist. Reach with your shoulder, not the elbow. Really get into those obliques. And one more time each side. As you come back to center, hug those legs into the body. Let's take a stretch first. Release your right foot to the earth. Send your left leg up to the sky. Nice big stretch here, holding at the hamstring or the calf. Then slide your right leg out, flex your foot, and bring your arms to the floor. And feel like you're in this prep for extended hand to big toe. Then bend that knee, hug it, that shin or hamstring towards the chest. Let's take a little twist here. Take the right arm or left arm out to the side, bring that knee across the body, and we twist. We can look over to that left hand. Then come back to center. Draw both shins in. Release that left foot to the earth. Extend your right leg to the sky, holding at the hamstring or holding at the calf. What feels best for you? Point the foot, flex it, it does not matter. Take a hold here and slide your left leg out. Then take your belly button, pull it to the floor as your arms come out nice and wide. Press into the arms, press to the heels. This prep work for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, extended hand to big toe. And then we're going to come back to center and hug that right hamstring in. Bring the right arm out and float that knee across into this spinal twist. Just waking up our back. And then come back to center. Now I want you to find your belt. And as you take your belt, we've been doing a lot of this supine. So what I want you to do is you're going to change the direction you're going to be on. So pretend you're doing extended hand to big toe in standing, but we're going to lay on that right shoulder. So you're going to take the belt into your left foot, and you can hold high up on that belt as you like. Then extend your leg out and take the right arm overhead. Now roll onto your side, but try not to let your leg drop. Right? We're not trying to touch the floor. Imagine you're standing. Pull that left hip away from your body and push through both heels. If you don't need the belt, I want you to release the belt and hold the foot. Feel what's firing up to do this pose. We're laying on the ground, but we're taking our extended hand to big toe on the earth. If you're like, I'm going to fall over, you're not going to go far. You're either going to drop to the floor or you're going to fall backwards. Who cares? It's all right. Come back up to center, bend the knees, and let's take it to the other side. So I want you to take the belt to the ball of the right foot. I'm going to face away from you. So as you extend the leg up, hold the belt with the same hand as the leg extended. Extend the right leg out, or left leg, sorry. Take the arm overhead. So this would be as if we were standing. Roll onto your side and fire up. If your hip is rolling to your ribs, pull that hip down. If you don't need the belt, release it, grab the big toe. Takes a lot of effort. Come back to center. Release, hug it in. Just different ways to make our pose more fun. All right, so we take this pose in standing, right, with the leg out to the side. So what I want you to do is take the belt to the left foot. Take your hand either to the belt or to the big toe. What I want you to do here is roll onto your side, but keep the leg aiming to the sun, right? So this would be us in standing, and just different ways to find the pose. Again, if you don't need the belt, but for some of us, flexibility is key, and power. Abs are in tight. What can you tighten up? Flex your bottom foot so you're standing on the ground. Yeah, go ahead and release. Come center, change legs. It does take a lot of effort. In my head, I can hear you moaning and groaning. It's okay, you're doing fine. Whether you hold at the belt or hold at the big toe. Take the left arm overhead, roll onto your side. Flex that bottom foot and hold your extended hand to big toe variation here. Good, very good. As you come back to center, release the belt. You can have it off to the side for later, but go ahead and rock yourself up and come into table. That was fun, right? Coming onto all fours as we find table pose. Do a few rounds of cat and cow. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin and tailbone. Inhale, arch the back, lift the forehead and tailbone. 3 more rounds. Exhale. Inhale. Moving at a pace that matches your own breath. Sometimes we expect to do the easy stuff in the beginning, but today I threw it in there right at the warm-up. Come back into table pose. So as we hold here, those of you that we go onto our stomachs for any of our movements, you're welcome to stop in table or kneeling plank and stay there. You're also welcome to take any spinal balance movement that you may need. So from here, let's turn our toes under. Walk our hands back to our knees and either stay here or walk the hands up the thighs, coming into this toe stretch. The bottoms of the feet getting a nice deep stretch. Then hands to the heart. Lifting up, close the eyes, and just hold here for a count of 5. 4. Your toes will not break off. 3. 2. 1. Walk your hands back down into table and tap the top of your feet onto the mat. As we take a sink back into child's pose, our hips towards our heels, we don't have to go all the way back. And for some of you, it's not a sink back at all, but it's a reach forward into puppy pose. So do you want puppy pose or do you want to sink back into child's pose? But press into the palm of your hands if you're in child's pose and sink your hips a little deeper towards those heels. Let's walk our fingertips out nice and long, Utthita Balasana, extended child's pose. And let's inhale forward to kneeling plank. Now remember, some of you that are protecting a back or pregnant are going to stay right here. The rest of us are going to come down to the earth. Let's work a little baby cobra here. Inhale, lift the heart and hands. Exhale, return chin or forehead to the mat. Inhale, lift heart and hands. Exhale, come back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Holding, float the legs off the mat. Reach the arms outside your thighs and flip those palms to the sun. Keep breathing, keep holding. Back strength, so important. Let's lower down. Either keep your knees on the mat for kneeling plank or lift your knees, push into the toes, and let's all rise up. Floating into down dog or child's pose, it's up to you. Lift the hips to the sky, let the heels go heavy. I want you to imagine your shoulder blades are wrapping under your arms, but be careful. Some of you, when you come into this pose, you're rolling out so you feel this part of your hand lifting. I need you to press firm between that thumb and index finger and make that muscle work. So grip that mat, hips high, heels heavy. When you grip the mat and you press between the thumb and index finger, you're going to fire up your arms more. And we want the power of our arms helping us in the pose. Take 2 more deep breaths in your down dog. Let's take a little vinyasa here. Forward to plank or kneeling. Lower to crocodile, or knees are down, which makes it half. Lift to up dog, hips are off the earth, or cobra, hips down, elbows bent. Then press back into down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bend your knees, look to thumb, step to the top of your mat, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. So we've been doing this sun salutation variation for the month of March, and I want to keep it going since we're in the last few days. So let's go ahead and start with our feet open, hip width apart. We have 3 different variations. Some of you know this flow, so you're going to automatically go to the level you're comfortable with. I'm going to take you through all 3 variations together, and on the 4th one, you will flow it on your own. So let's all inhale, circle sweep the arms up to the sky. And as we exhale, let's swan dive with a flat back to forward fold. Inhale, bend knees for kneeling lunge and send that right knee back so your left knee is stacked over ankle. Then exhale to those heels for child's pose, reaching long. Inhale forward to kneeling plank. Remember, if you're pregnant or protecting a back, stay here. Exhale, lower to relaxed crocodile. Inhale, lift heart and hands to baby cobra. Exhale, press back to child's pose. Move at your own pace. Inhale the right foot forward. See where it lands. If you have to grab that ankle, help it forward, but knee stacked back over ankle. Exhale, step into fold. Inhale, reverse up to the sky. Exhale to sit in chair. Weight is in your heels. Inhale, circle to the sun. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, bend knees. Now send the left knee back to that kneeling lunge. Again, knee over ankle. Exhale to those heels for child's pose, reaching long. Inhale forward to kneeling plank, but here's a variation. Exhale to half crocodile or relaxed. Inhale to cobra or baby cobra. Exhale back to child's pose. Inhale the left foot forward. Help the foot so knee and ankle restack. Exhale the right foot into fold. Inhale, reverse up to the sun. Exhale to sit in chair. Again, sweep to the sky. Another variation, swan dive to the earth. As the knees bend, send the right foot or knee back to lunge or kneeling. Left foot back to down dog or child's pose. Forward to the hands, plank or kneeling. Lower crocodile, half or relaxed. Scoop the heart to the sun, up dog, cobra or baby cobra. Hinge back, down dog or child's pose. Float the right foot forward to lunge or kneeling. Again, help the knees so you stack. And then step into fold. Reverse up to the sky. And lower to chair. Make sure you're sitting in the heels and looking straight ahead so the chest stays lifted. Again, sweep to the sun. Swan dive to the earth. As we bend our knees, send the left foot or knee back to lunge or kneeling. Right foot back to down dog or child's pose. Forward to the hands, plank or kneeling. Lower crocodile, half or relax. Scoop up dog, cobra or baby cobra. Hinge back, down dog, child's pose and hold here. Then float the left foot forward to lunge or kneeling. Right foot into fold. Reverse up to the sky. And lower to chair. We have one more variation. Doesn't mean you have to take it. Sweep to the sun. Fold to the earth. As our knees bend, we send the right foot or knee back to lunge, kneeling, or rise to crescent. Remember, this can be done on your knee. Release, down dog, child's pose, or left leg up, three-legged. Forward to the hands, plank or kneeling. Lower crocodile, half or relaxed. Scoop to the sun, up dog, cobra or baby cobra. Hinge back, down dog, child's pose or right leg up, three-legged. Draw the right foot forward to the hands to lunge, kneeling, or rise to crescent. Step into fold. Reverse to the sun. And lower chair, balancing. And balancing would be to lift those heels. Then sweep back to the sky. Swan dive to the earth. As we bend those knees, we send the left foot or knee back to lunge, kneeling, or rise to crescent. Release, down dog, child's pose, or right leg up, three-legged. Forward towards the hands, plank or kneeling, lower crocodile, half or relaxed. Scoop up dog, cobra or baby cobra, hinge back, down dog, child's pose, or left leg up, three-legged. Left foot forward to lunge kneeling, or rise up to crescent. Step into fold. Reverse to the sky, and lower chair or balancing. One more time, reach to the sun. Hinge to the earth. As those knees bend and you send the right foot or knee back to lunge kneeling, or you'll rise to crescent. Release, down dog, child's pose, or three-legged. Forward to the hands. What's the pose going to be? Lower to the earth. Scoop to the sun. Hinge back. Down dog, child's pose, or three-legged. You then draw the foot forward to a lunge kneeling or rise to crescent. What works for you? And then come into your fold. Reverse to the sun and lower to your chair or balancing. One more time, sweep to the sky. Fold to the earth. As you send that foot back to lunge kneeling or rise to crescent, release, down dog, child's pose, or three-legged. Forward to hands, lower to earth, scoop to the sun, hinge back for that hold, down dog, child's pose, or three-legged. As you draw the foot forward, it looks like lunge, kneeling, or rise to crescent. You'll step in for your fold. Reverse up to the sun, and find your chair or balancing. Then reach tall to the sky, and lower hands to the heart. Take a moment, gaze to your fingers. What is your body feeling right now? What do you need to let go of that won't serve you for this practice? Take a nice big inhale. And as you sigh it out, stand nice and tall. So we move into our practice today. I want you to grab your belt. If you don't have a belt, you can use a towel, or you can use anything that feels right for you as an extension of your foot. But what I want you to do is take the belt to the ball of the foot. And as you stand nice and tall, I'm just going to turn this way so my cueing is a little more cohesive. I want you to anchor in to that right foot, and let me face you. So you're going to anchor into that right foot, and you're going to bring the left knee up. Now you can still face in either direction on your mat. So as you anchor into this right foot, you draw the left knee up. I want you to stand nice and tall. Then we're all going to use the belt. Even if you know how to do the pose, grab the belt, take the belt to the ball of the foot, and extend your leg out. Now remember, we did this on the floor. So as you hold the belt with your left hand, you're going to bring the right arm up to the sky. Find that power, that balance, that stability. Then as you open the right arm up to the side, take your left leg out to the side. Soften your shoulders. And you may be wiggling and wobbling, your knee may be bent, but can you imagine your leg is like a flagpole? Pull the energy up into your hip. Then anchor through both heels as your chest stays lifted. Then bring the leg back to center. Hold on to the belt as you release, and let me turn sideways. And step that left foot back and open into Warrior Two. Take the belt in front of your hips. Now, because I have the buckle, I don't want to whack myself in the face. Years of experience. So hold that belt, but make sure you don't have to bend your elbows to do this move. Bend into the knee. Inhale, bring the arms to the sun. Exhale, take them behind. Inhale, rise up. Exhale in front. If it's too easy, move your hands closer. If you're bending your elbows, move the arms apart. Now continue. Inhale to rise. Exhale behind. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Still maintain that bend in the knee. You're still in Warrior Two legs. That knee is still pressing open towards the second and third toe. But feel equal pressure into both feet. I need you to do this one more time. And as you come back to front, go ahead and release that belt. And then extend the arms and legs, so straighten the leg, prepping for triangle, Trikonasana. Take a reach over that thigh and a slow tip of the hands in front or behind that thigh, or hand to thigh, shin. And again, if you need your block, take that block to where you can bring the floor closer to you. Some of you will take this movement to where you're going to stretch the left arm over the ear. Keep pushing your back against an imaginary wall. On your next inhale, rise up, set up for reverse warrior as you exhale and stretch away. Inhale, rise up, windmill into twisting lunge. Bring that left hand inside the foot. You may have to heel toe this right foot over, and then open up into your twisting lunge. Inhale, rise up into twisting crescent. And some of you will hold here, pulling this right hip back, left hip forward, and then you'll stretch over to that left hamstring. Looking over your shoulder or up to your thumb. Let's windmill into half moon, rising up, opening hips and shoulders. If at any time you're saying, I can't do this, what can you do? Do you need that block underneath this right hand as you spin the right side of your heart open to the sky? And then let's come back into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, rising back up, gazing over your fingertips. From here, tip into triangle, take that nice deep stretch. And then into reverse warrior. Little flow of these poses together. Windmill down into that twisting lunge. Adjust your feet. Rise up into twisting crescent, with or without the tip back. And release into your half moon. You can send the hands down, then open up. And then from here, float back into Warrior 2, lifting up. Make your way into side angle, Parsva Konasana. Now be careful, does this left hip want to go sassy, which then sends your knee out of alignment. So try to keep the hip tucked under, knee stacked over ankle. And then into reverse triangle, rise up, stretch back with straight legs. And then as you make your way into Kung Fu Lunge, we'll do a half version. Spin that left heel in and you come over to the thigh. Yeah, so we're not going to go all the way down. We're going to stay up right here on that thigh. And then as your hands come to the heart, let's pivot into twisting prayer lunge. And maintain this twist and step into twisting chair. Bring that left foot in. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, down. 2 more times. Lift and release. Lift and release. From this moment, release the hand step or hop into plank. Adjust, then lower to crocodile. Lift to up dog. Hinge back. Hold down dog. Draw your knees to the mat and grab your blocks and send them outside your thighs. Now I'm going to turn and face you. Again, we're towards the end of this month, and our pose focus is extended hand to big toe, flexibility and balance and strength, but also Lolasana, a lot of core power and upper body strength too. So if you took your hands to the center of your thighs and you move them off to your blocks, the blocks would be even with the center of your thighs. Some of you have now moved to the point where your blocks are flat and your hands go flat, or some of you have moved to the point where your hands are down on the earth. They are not forward with your knees though. So from here, we're gonna do Pillsbury, knees, Michael Jackson. And remember, Pillsbury is this pulling the belly into the spine. Our elbows are bent like chaturanga. Don't move your feet, it's just the knees pulling up to your chest. And then straighten the arms like Michael Jackson coming onto the tips of his toes. A lot of upper body strength. We're gonna do this 3 times. When we get through our next flow, we'll try it without the blocks and the full lift. You don't have to, if your brain's overloading, just do what feels right. Some of us, our knees won't even lift, but we'll get the Pillsbury, whatever works for you. Hands on the blocks. Pillsbury, bend the elbows, pull the belly to your spine. Knees, pull them up to your chest. Michael Jackson, straighten the arms. Come on back down, keep your elbows bent. Pillsbury, knees, Michael Jackson. Come on down. One more time. Pillsbury, knees, Michael Jackson, and lower. Takes a lot of effort. That's okay. Go ahead and release the blocks off to the side. Turn to face one side of your mat and lift into down dog. Walk to your hands. And let's take a stretch of those arms. Bend the knees nice and deep. We're going to go into gorilla so we release pressure into the wrists. So what I want you to do is lift your toes and slide your hand all the way under. Not so you're standing on your fingers. Big toes touch your wrists all the way under. Take that to the other hand. Lean forward into the balls of your feet to really press into the heels of your hands. And either stay with bent knees or start to straighten the legs. Wiggle your toes, massage out your hands, roll your feet side to side, in and out. And then when you're ready, release. Your belt should be at the top of your mat, so I want you to take the belt around the head and round yourself up, standing nice and tall. Again, you can stay facing the length of your mat, or I'm going to turn and face you. You're welcome to turn and face me. As you stand tall, you're going to anchor into that left foot. Find power by lifting the right knee. Then take your belt and send it to the ball of your foot. I know you can probably do this, some of you grabbing your big toe, but let's just work the mechanics here using the belt. Grab a hold of the belt with your right hand and extend the right leg out. Bring your arm to the sky. Remember, we were laying on our sides just like this. So take the same energy you had on the ground in the beginning of class and send it here. Lifting up, lengthening away. Then when you're ready, open your arm to the side, even though we kept it by your head. Take the leg out to the side. You can still leave it here like you were laying on the ground, or you can take it out to the side. What are your hips doing? Are you rolling? Try not to worry about how high the leg is going. You're going to come back to center. And as you bend the knee, I'm going to hop my way to the top of my mat because we're going into Warrior 2. Hold the belt and step the right foot back. Open hips and shoulders to Warrior 2. Remember, the belt is forward. We're going to inhale, rise up. Exhale, go behind. Inhale. Exhale. Notice the knee, is it rolling in? Try and keep it open. We do not have to be on our tightrope where our heel to arch aligns. We can stagger the feet to find ease in those hips. Watch what's happening in the shoulders. Take this 3 more times. Two more. Last one, inhale to rise. Exhale behind. Inhale forward. Exhale in front. Now drop the belt at the top of your mat. Straighten the arms, prepping for triangle. Big reach here and a slow tip. Hands to thigh, shin, in front or behind the calf. But if you're reaching forward just to get to the floor, your back is no longer against the wall. So imagine you're against the wall. And those of you that want to stretch a little deeper, stretch the arm overhead. Let's take a rise into reverse warrior. Nice big stretch away from that left knee. Still bend into that knee. And then we windmill into twisting lunge. So when the right hand comes down, you may be too close together for those feet. So heel toe that left foot apart. Watch the hip. It likes to swing out to compensate. Pull that hip in and back. Then let's rise into twisting crescent. As you come up, you rise up. Hold the twist, pulling left hip back, right hip forward, or reach back for that right calf or hamstring. All right, here we go into half moon. Windmill the hands forward, rise up, and then feel like you want to pull that right hand to the sky. You can look to the floor, that'll help your balance. You can grab that block. 3 levels to it. What works best for you to try and get the power in this pose? All right, let's release into warrior 2. Tip into triangle. Float into reverse warrior. Twisting lunge. If I'm going too fast, remember, flow with your breath. Rise up into twisting crescent with or without the arch back. Release into half moon. Come back into warrior 2. And this is just to set ourselves up into side angle. Parsva Konasana. Straighten the leg into reverse triangle. Half Skandasana. Turn that right heel in, left toe on a diagonal, hands on thigh. And this is going to help you set up for your twisting prayer. As you bring your hands to heart, pivot. Yeah. All right, step into twisting chair. Good. Now either stay here, knees stay even. The twist is from the core. If your knees are shifted, it's probably because your hips are doing the twisting. Then let's do a little flow. Inhale, lift the heels. You can look down to the floor, or you can look to the side. Lift the heels and lower 2 more times. Head is higher than the heart. And when you're ready, that power vinyasa. Make your way into plank. Lower to crocodile. Lift to up dog. Hinge back. Hold down dog. We're going to play with extended hand to big toe. If you need to grab your belt at any time, you may have to do that, but pick the right foot up. Float forward into crescent or high lunge. Press up into Utthita Hasta Panagustasana, extended hand to big toe. If you need to step out of it, grab your belt. You're going to come here, all right? And then you're going to release back into crescent or high lunge. If you need the belt, keep the belt in the hands, otherwise here. 3 more like this. Rise up, Utthita Hasta Panagustasana, extended hand to big toe. Back into crescent. Come on, it's Monday. If we gave ourselves a break for the weekend, let's fire it back up again. 1 more time. Now, if you're holding the belt, take the belt into your right hand. If you're not, take your right hand to the outer blade, and let's all add the twist. Come back to center. Take the belt back into your left hand, or grab that big toe. Open up into Utthita Hasta Panagustasana variation, and then stand tall. Hinge to the earth. Meet me in plank, and either stay in plank or power vinyasa. Are you ready to have fun on the other side? Woohoo! I know you are. Lift that left foot up. Find crescent or high lunge. Remember, if you need the belt, get that belt. Rise up with the right knee. Extended hand to big toe. With or without the belt. I'll do 2 more with the belt. Release into crescent or high lunge. Rise up, extended hand to big toe. 2 more times. Crescent or high lunge. If you're not using the belt, then your big toe, come on up. Grab that big toe, send it out. One more time, release, crescent or high lunge. And then rise up. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Stay here. If you have the belt, take the belt to the left hand, reach the right arm back. If you're not using the belt, take your hand to the outer blade of the foot. Come back to center. Either hold that big toe, opening the leg out to the side, or you're using the belt, opening the leg out to the side. Come back to center. One more time, power vinyasa. Rise up. Fold to the earth. Bend those knees, step or hop to plank or kneeling. Lower crocodile, lift up dog, hinge back, hold down dog. Now, bring your knees to the mat and sit onto those heels, prepping for Lolasana one more time. I didn't whip my hair up into a bun, so I have all this hair in my face. All right, so center, blocks are centered. Horizontal, flat, no blocks at all. Let's do 2 times with our toes still touching the floor in Michael Jackson, and then 2 times in pendulum to let the legs hang. And if you're thinking, I cannot do this, let it go. What can you do? We all have to start somewhere. So this Pillsbury is the first part. If that's where you'd have to stay, stay there. So place the hands on the blocks, bend your elbows, like you're going to go into Chaturanga. Then Pillsbury, pull the belly to the spine, feel yourself round a little bit more. Keep this bend in the round and pull your knees up to your chest, and then straighten the arms, Michael Jackson. Come on down. Pillsbury, knees, Michael Jackson. Are you ready? The party starts. Pillsbury, knees, Michael Jackson, pull your heels like you're going to kick your butt. And come on down. Now some of you, I see you do this. You're pulling with your butt up to the sky. When you're doing this, you're pulling your heels to your butt, right? Pillsbury, knees, Michael Jackson, heels pull up. All right, who wants to try it without the blocks? Here we go, because I know you're all yelling, me, 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 me. Okay, hands to the floor. Pillsbury, knees, Michael Jackson, kick those heels up towards your glutes, and come on down. Shake it out. Always feels so good when we challenge ourselves just a little bit more outside our comfort zone. Go ahead and sit to the side, find your seated Z. Take a moment here, take your right hand behind your hip. I can turn sideways for those of you that need to see, or if you need your block because the floor needs to be closer to you. Lift up. Come back down. If you're still facing towards the me, go ahead and extend your leg out. Stretch over to the side. So we're keeping heavy in this right sit bone as we stretch long. It's not about collapsing forward to get to that foot. It's a side stretch. And as you rise up from here, come back into seated Z. Some of us need to start here. But you can stay here, tip forward, or turn to the right side of your mat. As you pull up your hips, turn this left toe under, slide the knee across, and come into pigeon. Sit up tall, and then fold forward. You can take the block underneath your forehead. You can take your hands, or whatever feels best for you. This isn't a collapse into a pose. We are still drawing the right hip back, left hip forward. Our belly still draws to the spine, so it is an active stretch. And then let's go ahead and rise up and sit to the side and bring this left leg around, holding the outer blade of the foot if you can and outside the knee, and just rock and roll. And some of you are going to stay here, and I'm staying sideways because I want you to see what this knee is going to do. We're going to pull the knee back, And some of us are gonna hold the foot, and some of us are just gonna hold, helping the knee pull back. We only have a few more days until April, so what's gonna happen in April is elephant trunk. If you're like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. It's a journey, not a race. All right, as you release, turn. Left leg is in front, right leg is behind in seated Z. Take your left hand back, and again, lift those hips up off the earth. Nice big stretch here. Come on down. Send the right leg out to the side. If you need a block underneath that left knee, take it there, let the hip joint relax, and then stretch over to the side. But if you're lifting to get over to the side, let it go. Keep your sit bone on the floor, big side stretch. Lengthen, just like in reverse warrior, right? We're pulling away from that hip. Let's rise up, return to seated Z. You can stay here and tip forward, or stay up tall, or even if your leg has to stay out. Otherwise, extend your leg if you haven't already. Turn your right toes to the mat, heel aims up, pivot, and release down. Either stay here or fold to the earth. Are we still active in the stretch? Drawing our left hip back, right hip forward, feeling our belly draw to the spine. Some of you have heard it enough that you already know what I'm gonna say, so your body falls in. For others, if you're new, it's just cueing you to kind of help you find alignment. Again, that block can always go underneath the sit bone to bring the floor closer to you, but try to keep your weight in the center of the mat. Go ahead and rise up. I want you to sit to the side, bring the legs around, and let's lay all the way back, hug the legs into our bodies. I want you to take one more stretch for twisting. A lot of times we build a lot of tension in the back, and we did some twisting poses, but go ahead and open your arms out to the letter T. Knees are over hips instead of into the chest. And I want you to roll your hips and knees to the right, turn and look to the left. Sometimes we take the right hand and place it on the left thigh. But as long as we can keep our left shoulder on the floor, we can take the hand here to deepen that twist. Inhale, come back to center. Knees try to stay over hips, and then we float the knees over to the left. With or without a turn to the right with the upper body, head. We start to slow down. We want to start to feel ourselves dropping a little heavier, knowing Shavasana is coming. Come back to center, give a nice big hug. As we release our feet to the earth, I want you to heel toe the feet open wider than the hips. Place one hand on the heart, one hand on the stomach. I want you to inhale, feel the hand and heart rise. Exhale, feel it slowly sink back down into the body. We're gonna do 2 more deep breaths like this. Inhale, expand the body like a balloon. Exhale to release. One more time. When you're ready, let the arms release. Some of us, Shavasana is not always comfortable with our legs out long, so see if keeping the knees bent feels better. The others like to extend the legs out. Some of us find Shavasana on our stomachs or on our side. Whatever works for you, but I want you to close your eyes. And just feel your body make an imprint into your mat. Any stress or tension is melting off the body and into the earth. This is your time to surrender. For some of us, we're going to take ourselves to our favorite beach destination. Maybe it's not a beach. Maybe it's somewhere else. But wherever it is, bring yourself to that place that brings you relaxation. Picture it in your mind. The sounds, the smells, the ease the body feels. Recreate that in this moment. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like, or start to wiggle those fingers and toes, bring movement into the body. And stretch the arms long over the head as you reach through fingers and toes. And on an exhale, start to draw the hamstrings towards the chest and give yourself a big hug. Roll across the back. And I want you to roll to one side, using that bottom arm like a pillow. Remember the question you asked yourself at the beginning of class: what brought you on the mat today? And did you honor that? Let go of what you don't need, and on an inhale, rise up, come into this seated pose. I'd like you to draw the hands to the heart and take a little bow of the chin towards the chest. I want you to tell yourself 3 times with this mantra: I am amazing. Not about me, this is about you. Inhale, I am. Exhale, amazing. One more time. Inhale, I am. Exhale, amazing. How often do we praise ourselves? We are the quickest to give ourselves that negative criticism. Be proud of all you've done. We weren't here for perfect, we were here for a practice. Now I invite you to smile and finish with Namaste. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you again on the mat. Enjoy the rest of the day.